It's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 vegan comfort food meal ideas that you can make on a budget. When I think of comfort food, I think of cozy, warm, cheesy, potatoey, soupy goodness. So if any of that sounds good to you, definitely stay tuned. So like all of my other 5 under 5 video series, I spent around $25 on all of the grocery items that you need to make these recipes, but each individual recipe costs less than $2 per serving. This video is also extra special because it is a collaboration with my friend Rose of CheapLazyVegan, but I'm actually going to let her introduce herself and tell you what she's making today.
Hello beautiful people, my name is Rose and I run the channel over here on CheapLazyVegan. So the name is pretty self-explanatory, but I do tons of easy and delicious and affordable vegan meal ideas and recipes. So if you guys are into that sort of thing, then come on over to my channel and say hello. Today I will be making 5 comforting breakfast dishes for under $25. These are super yummy, super satisfying, and perfect for a nice weekend brunch. So if you guys would like to see what I'm making, then don't forget to check out my video after you watch Caitlin's delicious video. I can't wait to see what you're making, Caitlin.
Well, Rose, we're definitely going to be making some delicious food over here on my channel, so let's get straight to it. So first up, we're going to be making some macaroni and cheese, and this recipe only costs 89 cents per serving. So to start out, we're going to be making our cheese sauce by adding some potatoes and carrots into a pot. Then we're just going to bring this to a boil, and then once it's boiling, let it simmer for about 8 minutes or so until the potatoes and carrots are fork tender. Then you can drain them from the pot and add them to a food processor with some nutritional yeast, plant-based milk, apple cider vinegar, garlic powder, salt, and some tahini as well. Then we're just going to blend this up for about a minute or so until it makes a thick and creamy sauce. And as you can see here, it is very luscious. So we're actually going to only be using half of the cheese sauce right now, so we can just prepare a serving of dry pasta. I used a cup dry. You just follow your regular package instructions, but once your pasta is ready, we're going to add in our cheese sauce to the pot and then stir everything together until it is all well incorporated and the noodles are evenly coated in sauce. This recipe is actually on my blog, but it's super delicious and it's budget friendly, so I had to include it in this video. So once you're done mixing your noodles up, you can pop them into a bowl and serve as desired. I seriously love this recipe and I'm pretty sure you guys will too. It's one of my favorites. But next, we're going to make some baked cheese fries, and this recipe only costs $1.02 per serving. So we're actually going to be using the cheese sauce I made from our mac and cheese, but first we have to make our fries. So I just cut up 3 russet potatoes into fry shapes, and then the secret to getting perfect crispy fries is a silicone mat. I will link the ones I have in the description of this video, but guys, this is seriously a game changer, a very worthwhile investment. So these fries are actually super simple. You're just going to spread them out on a baking tray, making sure they're not really touching, and you can coat them with any seasonings you have on hand. I didn't have any more room in my budget for extra seasonings, so I just added a crack of salt to my fries, and you're just going to bake them in the oven for 35 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And once they come out, they will look like this. They're perfectly crispy and golden brown, perfect every single time. I swear this concept is foolproof. I also have a recipe on my blog for it. But then we're just going to drizzle them with about 1/4 of the cheese sauce, so then you get some nice cheesy fries. I also think these would be delicious with some vegan chili, but they're pretty dang good on their own as well. I eat these every Friday and I'm not even kidding. Up next, we're going to be making some minestrone soup, and this recipe costs $1.31 per serving, so we're still budget friendly over here. First, we're going to add some diced onion with a splash of water or oil to a pot along with some Italian seasoning, and we're just going to saute this over a medium heat until the onion is translucent. Then we're going to add in some corn, some peas, chopped carrots, a can of fire roasted tomatoes, and I would definitely recommend fire roasted tomatoes because this adds a ton of flavor and it's not that much more expensive. We're also going to be adding some vegetable stock to give some extra flavor to our soup, as well as some tomato paste. Then we're just going to stir this together to dissolve the tomato paste and bring this up to a simmer. As you can see here, my soup mix was kind of thick, so I decided to add in a little bit of extra water just to thin the soup out a little more. Depending how you like your soup, you can choose to add water or not add water. But you're just going to give this a stir, bring it to a simmer like I said, and then we're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes or so to incorporate all of the flavors. Then after it's simmered, we're going to add in some cooked pasta, just stir that together to make sure it's evenly distributed, and we're ready to go. The recipe on my blog for this will actually serve 2 people, so I think it's great because you'll have soupy leftovers, and who doesn't love soup, especially in the winter time. Also, minestrone has always been one of my favorite soups. I feel like it's super satisfying, and I always feel great after I eat it because I'm getting in a ton of vegetables. Up next, we're going to make another soup, but this one is going to be potato and broccoli, and it costs $1.78 per serving. So again, we're going to start out by adding some diced onion, a splash of water, and a dash of Italian seasoning into a pot. We're going to stir it all together and cook it until the onion is translucent. Then from here, things are going to start to get a little bit different. We're going to add in some diced potatoes, garlic powder, and nutritional yeast. And then for our liquids, we're going to add in some vegetable broth, but we're also going to add in a cup of plant-based milk to make things a little bit more creamy. And then I'm just adding some salt to taste. You're going to give this a stir and again bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat to a simmer and let it cook for around 10 minutes or so until the potatoes are soft. Then from here, we're going to scoop out about half of the soup mixture, including the potato chunks, and put this in a blender, and then put it back into the soup bowl and stir it in. And this helps the soup to have a thicker and more creamy texture to it, and I find it much more satisfying this way. Then to finish things off, I just wanted to add in a little bit of greens, so I added in about 2 cups of frozen broccoli that I just thawed and chopped up. We're just going to mix that together and we're good to go. Again, you can serve it however you would like. I think this would be great with some extra black pepper or nutritional yeast on top as well, but it was also delicious on its own. This may not be a traditional potato soup recipe, but I personally enjoyed the extra broccoli in it. Last but not least, we're going to be making some creamy mashed potatoes, and this costs $1.18 per serving. So making mashed potatoes is pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to add some chopped potatoes into a pot of water, bring the water to a boil, and then cook them for about 10 or so minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. Then you're just going to return them to the pot, and I like to add extra flavor to my mashed potatoes by adding some nutritional yeast, garlic powder, salt, and plant-based milk. When I'm cooking around 3 potatoes like I did here, I usually start with half of a cup, and then you can mix this by hand or use an electric mixer like I'm doing here. And half a cup is usually not enough liquid unless you like your potatoes super thick, so you'll probably end up using somewhere between 3/4 of a cup and a cup in total, depending on how smooth you like your potatoes. And personally, I like to have potato skins in my mashed potatoes, so I left them on. But if you don't like that, you can just peel your potatoes beforehand and it will still come out delicious. So I topped mine with some black pepper and nutritional yeast because I'm keeping things budget friendly here. If you wanted to make a gravy, you totally could. I enjoy mashed potatoes on its own, but you could also serve them with some peas or some more broccoli on the side, whatever suits your fancy. And there are my 5 ideas for some budget-friendly vegan comfort food. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below what your favorite recipe was and which one you want to try first. And also let me know if you have any suggestions for our next theme. I've already done budget-friendly Mexican-inspired and Italian-inspired food, so I'm thinking maybe Asian or Middle Eastern or maybe even Greek next. I don't know, you guys let me know. Also, don't forget to head over to Rosa's channel to check out her 5 vegan comfort food breakfast recipes. All of them looked so delicious when she sent her clips over to me, so I can't wait to watch her video myself. As a reminder, I will have all of the recipes linked in the description of this video, and if this is the first video from me that you are seeing, feel free to click that little subscribe button right down there. I post 2 new videos every single week. Normally, I'm posting more just because it's Vlogmas, but I always post easy to follow recipes, budget-friendly videos, and vlog/grocery hauls as well. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!